Our town, our TV. Amherst City Cable.
The meeting, Amherst City Council, come to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Goodell.
Here.
Mr. Van Schuren.
Here.
Mrs. Wasil. Here. Mr. Winarski.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Mr. Janik.
Here.
Mr. Bukovac.
Here.
We'll stand for the prayer by Chaplain Silk and remain standing for the pledge of flag by Sergeant in Arms Bukovac.
Will you bow with me, please? Gracious God, bless this meeting tonight. Protect all of our citizens. Bless all who are assembled here and bless their words and thoughts. Keep us all in the path of righteousness. And now may the words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts be accepted in your sight, O Lord, our rock and our Redeemer. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Fund item 4, the consent agenda.
Minutes of the regular council meeting held April 28, 2014. Minutes of the executive session held May 5th, 2014. Minutes of the Finance Committee meeting held May 5th, 2014.
Mr. Winarski.
I'd like to ask that we accept the consent agenda.
Thank you. Mr. Goodell.
Second.
Motion is second on the floor to accept the consent agenda as read. Any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Goodell.
Yes.
Mr. Van Schuren.
Yes.
Mrs. Wasil.
Yes.
Mr. Winarski.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Janik.
Yes.
Mr. Bukovac.
Yes.
Motion carries. Move on to item 5, acknowledgement of the public pertaining to items on tonight's agenda. Is there anyone here wishing to speak on any item that's on tonight's agenda? Not, move on to item 6, ordinances and resolutions, first reading. Item A.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the Safety Service Director to solicit bids for the replacement of 15 kV electrical distribution lines, and authorizing and directing the Safety Service Director to award the contract for such work to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder, and authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into a contract for professional engineering services with MK Power Solutions Incorporated relating to such work.
Mr. Bukovac.
I'd like to make a motion to suspend council rules so that item 6A may be passed on its first reading.
Mr. Goodell.
Second.
Motion is second on the floor to suspend council rules on item A, so may be passed on the first reading. Are there any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Goodell.
Yes.
Mr. Van Schuren.
Yes.
Mrs. Wasil.
Yes.
Mr. Winarski.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Janik.
Yes.
Mr. Bukovac.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mr. Winarski.
Move to adopt.
Mr. Bukovac.
Second, please.
Motion is second on the floor to adopt. Roll call vote.
Mr. Goodell.
Yes.
Mr. Van Schuren.
Yes.
Mrs. Wasilk.
Yes.
Mr. Winarski.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Janik.
Yes.
Mr. Bukovac.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Be ordinance O-14-25.
That completes item 6. We'll move on to item 7, ordinances and resolutions, second reading.
An ordinance authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into an agreement with the Lorraine County Port Authority's Land Bank Program through the Lorraine County Land Reutilization Corporation for the abatement of blighted and abandoned properties in the city of Amherst.
Mr. Van Schuren.
Move to send item 7A on to the third reading.
Mr. Goodell. Motion is second on the floor to send item A on to the third reading. Any comments? Mr. Winarski.
Thank you. Just real briefly to let you know, I spoke today with a board member from the land bank. I've learned that if we don't subscribe, the money will exist and go out to other communities. If we do subscribe, it won't raise, the schools won't incur any more expense, we won't incur any more expense. It's money out there, and if we don't subscribe, it's lost money. And with that, is there any questions with regards to the program?
Van Schuren.
I just thought a question actually. Do you happen to know if there are any other communities that have not subscribed yet, like Amherst?
No, but I can find out for the third reading.
Yeah, if you think of it. Sure. I'm just curious.
Thank you. Mr. Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I spoke with Lorraine County Auditor Craig Snodgrass in regards to this issue, and it breaks down, if I understand correctly, something like this. We have delinquent tax collections for property in the county. County execs voted that all delinquent property amounts collected, there would be a 5% amount of this collection would go towards the county land bank, which keeps its own financial books, so he wasn't able to tell me how much the land bank has actually collected and from where, but he can say that as of today, he believes, he said he doesn't have the numbers in front of him when I spoke with him, but he believed it was around $1,400 from Amherst City itself towards the land bank. He was going to get me a breakdown of what the schools have paid and what the city has paid up until this time. So, for example, if you collect $1,000 in delinquent property tax, 5% of that would go towards the land bank, which would be about $50. Of that $1,000 collection, about 70% goes to the school roughly, and these are rough figures, please. 12% would go for various county. 8 would go to us, the city, or city, maybe we have bonds or any other property taxes and millage that we have out there outstanding. And between that and the rest of it would go to something like JVS or any other entities that we have that have millage against the city of Amherst citizens. Now, that property tax, and we were talking, Mr. Winarski was talking about this hitting the schools. They're getting hit not just from the city of Amherst in this. They're getting hit from Amherst Township and Lorraine District 45, which is the school districts up there in Lorraine that Amherst collects from or brings students in from, and property taxes as well. So it's very hard to say how much of the city of Amherst residents are paying towards this, which is money for the schools and money for the city itself. Then there'll be, it sounds to me like there's going to be an additional amount assessed to the city. And was that $6,800, Mr. Mayor?
I thought it was approximately that. Is that about right, Chuck?
Yeah, that's consistent with what I was told today.
So that would be in addition to any 5% collections of delinquent property tax and what little share that we would be getting, the city would be getting from that. We're looking at about $6,800, and I believe Mr. Winarski is correct when he said that we will be assessed that anyway. That was a county administrative decision, and unless there's legal action or some other way, that's going to continue on to be going to the land bank. With that said, I like the idea of getting involved in this. We have a couple of properties, but we're going to pay anyway. If we have one property we've covered, one property taken care of, we've covered our costs and then some. So I just figured I'd bring everybody up to speed as to what I have on this issue. If anybody else has anything, I would love to hear it. Thank you, Mr. Chair. That'll be it today.
Okay, anyone else? Not there's a motion and a second to take this on to the third reading. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Goodell?
Yes.
Mr. Van Churn?
Yes.
Mrs. Wasilk?
Yes.
Mr. Winarski?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Janik?
Yes.
Mr. Bukovac?
Yes.
Motion carries. That completes item 7. Move on to item 8, ordinances and resolutions. Third reading, there are none. Item 9, miscellaneous acknowledgement of the public. Anyone here wishing to speak on any item tonight? If not, move on to item 10, agenda requests and committee meeting schedules.
I have one, Mr. President. It is Agenda A-14-31 for finance. It's reappropriation of funds in various accounts, and this will be with emergency. That's complete.
Thank you. Finance, Ms. Vasil?
I have one item, A-14-31, reappropriation of funds, declaring an emergency. And I'd like to call that for Tuesday, May 27th at 7:15, right before the council meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Vasil. That completes item 11. Move on to item 12. Reports of administration, or item 11, reports of administration.
Mr. Ramsey, please.
The April tax reports and the treasurer's report have been distributed. End of report.
Mr. Kukuba.
The April cash position report has been distributed. And last week, my office was visited by Michelle Stiles, who is the Cleveland representative for Auditor Dale Yost. And for the 7th time, my office and the city received the Outstanding Award of Distinction from the State Auditor's Office. We are one of 3 entities in Lorraine County to receive this award. We have received it the most out of any of the others. The other one is a school, and I think Avon got one. So this is a high honor for the city of Amherst to receive. So I want to thank Rich Pless and Carol Shawver in my office for excellent, excellent work that they do and make me look good. So with that, on the report.
Mr. Pecora,
No report, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Costello.
The tree trimming for electrical distribution line was awarded to Nelson Tree Service. They're gonna be out and about starting probably next week. If they're gonna be in your backyards, they'll have door hangers and they'll notify the neighbors. So just watch out for them when they're in the streets, just give them a little bit of room. Thank you, report.
Only thing I have is we know it all rained today, and it can't be good news for us because we've been fortunate over the while. But with this rain like it is, we're gonna be have some flooding, I'm sure of it, with the way the rain was falling in a short period of time and the way it all is. And we'll have to again identify the worst areas and see where we're at. But as I've talked about and we've looked at after we did this project on Mill Street, for any capital money, we don't have a lot of capital money for any big sewer projects. So what we're gonna have to do is once we revisit this, we're gonna have to look at, as we've done in the past, look at some big dollars and possibly go out and revisit that project and going out and see bonding or go out and see borrowing money to get in these areas. But we have to see what the results were from the rains tonight before we make that decision. But we'll have to see what the damage was. So, end of report.
Thank you. Mr. Miller?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for the report. Just a quick question or clarification. If anybody does get flooding, you want your office called?
Or email us.
Or email?
Yes.
So you want some sort of contact?
They can call the utility office or my office or email us.
And that'll help us identify where we're getting flooding. And then the second thing I had was for our auditor. Thank you, Dave, for all your hard work, and it shows your dedication, and especially that of Rich Bus and the rest of your office in regards to achieving that award. That looks great on all accounts. And then the last thing I had was in regards to the land bank and that issue that we're moving to the 3rd reading. I believe, Mr. Ramsey, as our treasurer, you will have probably some dollar amount that you've written to that land bank. You should have record of that in your office. If you could give us an idea of what the city has cut a check in regards to delinquent taxes and that 5%, what we've written, that would come out of your office. Am I correct in that understanding?
Well, if, the thing about my office is any information that you may require or need, I don't know, I might have to talk with Mr. Pecora about this, but I may need it to be, there's confidentiality, there's several confidentiality ordinances and statutes that affect any information contained in our particular office. So if there's anything that you want me to produce in terms of records or information, email it to me so we can vet it the right way, because there's a lot of hoops that I have to deal with in that regard.
Thank you, Mr. Ramsey.
As I understand it, we don't even see that money. They take it before we even get it, so there's nothing to give back.
So that, how do we bring that money in then?
We don't bring it in.
It's real estate tax.
They take it before we get it.
So did they send a record to you, Mr. Kukuka, as the auditor, saying this is the amount that we've taken? So we have to know how much it's been.
We'd have to go to I'd have to go to Mr. Snodgrass's office and ask for that record.
So they don't let you know what the 90,
Mm-hmm.
whatever percent is that we receive. We just receive that.
Yeah, they just take it right. They take it out before we get our disbursement of property taxes each year.
Okay. So on delinquent property taxes. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate the clarification on that. Thank you, Mr. Ramsey, Mr. Kukuka. That's it.
Anyone else? No, thank you, Mr. Kukuka. Done a great job as usual. value to the city. So, council, Mr. Bucher.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the reports of the administration.
Mr. Goodell.
Second.
Motion second on the floor to accept the reports of administration. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those nay. Reports are accepted. Mr. Janik. Move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn. I thought you were
Mr.
going-
Bucher.
Second, please.
Motion second on the floor to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? We are adjourned at 7:48.
Our town, our TV. Amherst City Cable.